This whole coronavirus crisis began for us in Cienfuegos on the 10th of March when we checked out of Cuba. At the start, we weren't affected at all, being in the middle of nowhere with absolutely no one around. But then a Cuban military vessel told us we had to go right there and then. No question about whether we had food, fuel or water. Just go now. There was some wind, but mostly not. We travelled at an average speed of less than 2 knots, covering less than 50 nautical miles per day for the next 9 days. The boat pendulumed roughly 36,000 times during the lulls, and my brain turned into cooked porridge. But it wasn't all bad. Check out the dolphins. We were so happy to find a secluded bay in the Dominican Republic with no one here, no roads and no development. Just beautiful tall cliffs with clear water and white sandy beaches. We were looking forward to sleep and hiding out here for 3 weeks until the quarantine was over. Well, I was wrong, and we were kicked out. So we sailed back to Haiti, and on entering their waters, we were kicked out 2 hours later. We were getting good at this. We then sailed to an isolated island group south of Jamaica, where we finally thought we would have some peace.
I was feeling like finally I could breathe, I could start and have a rest, because I was with such anxiety, always not knowing where to go, haven't been able to rest. So it's just tiresome, and then that just gets in you. We just start hearing some motor engine noises, and we looked out and there are boats arriving to the island. They're clearly fishermen. We thought the island, it looked abandoned. So they still coming to fish around here. We don't know what to think. We're gonna keep our distance because we don't want to get sick, and I'm already getting anxious again. I don't know if it must be because we're super tired. Me and Peter have been picking on each other, so we've been fighting. It's just not nice.
It's crisis time, people, and I'm putting Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid in true good old Australian fashion. It always works. So Margarida is unhappy. Now, we need some good, solid drone intelligence. 2 things is what we need. We need a beach with sand, and 2, a place with nice shells. Okay, looks like we have a winner, people. Now, to assist the process, things that will help are, good idea, Margarida, and, that's a lovely shell. And, of course, we can carry as many shells as you want. I ought to write a book, people. Relationship on the verge of getting solved, people. Why is there this sad music though? Oh, I get it. Better give it another couple of hours. If these are anything like the Australian seabirds, like our terns, and they sort of look like the terns, a little bit different. They lay their eggs right on the sand, and they're sort of speckly, and they're really, really hard to see. Well, except for that one. Come on, birdie, lift your game. Relationship Advice 101 tells me that I have to do all the cooking and let Margarida chill out getting some nice shells.
I'm pregnant with shells.
Relationship Advice 101 precludes me from allowing any comment to air. Bugger this, there's just no fun to 101 at all. There's another 2 big boats turned up with probably about 12 people.
And we cannot go to their island where there's more resources because we don't want to be in contact with them just in case we get sick. Yeah, because that'll stuff up their livelihood. And if the Coast Guard comes and they say they were with us, it's going to put us even more trouble. So we're trying to avoid to go to the islands where we see that they're going. It's not like we don't want to be friends with them. It's just
I mean, if they're smart, they'll say nothing about us here, because the authorities will say, hang on, there's a boat, they're going to put them in quarantine and that. So we're really stuffing up their livelihood, really. So hopefully they're smart enough to say nothing. I mean, we're definitely not getting in contact. I mean...
And we had already prepared everything there so we could make a fire.
Yeah.
And they arrived.
Yeah. Anyway, it is their island. And we're actually very grateful that... I'm grateful that Margarida can actually get on land and just not be sitting on the boat being a zombie. That's a good thing. Anyway, it's lovely to be amongst nature, people. There you go, there's some nature. Love that nature. Best bit of nature I've ever seen. That's one great whopping pancake. Body surfing along the coral shelf. Not the safest thing to do, but a lot of fun. Mission accomplished, people. What's the bread like?
It's good. We're just missing something in here because it's quite dense.
This is coconut bread though, isn't it? So it's sweet.
It's sweet. It's quite dense. Should be a little bit lighter. But, well, we just made up the recipe. I don't know. And we have internet. We'll have a look how to make it I don't know how to say. Better.
It's right, it's sweet bread, it's more like cake, but I'm having it with last night's curry because, well, nothing else. I'm not hoping for much. There should be a small barracuda here, that'll be good for a day or two for us. Maybe a schoolmaster just behind. There's another reef over there. But, you know, this is not great spearfishing here. You're gonna have to expend a lot of energy to get very little. And then this freak wave came from a flat ocean. Only one thing for it, it's into the water and act as a drogue while holding onto the front. It's all good. Bugger, that was a bit close. I'm glad I took too long to get my gear ready. Put on some dramatic music because something big is about to happen. Here we go, there's food right there. This is going to be a first for my channel, probably the first for YouTube. Just kidding, I would never do that. With the exception of this suicidal schoolmaster, the spearfishing was terrible. But I found some conch, so we're reprieved for another couple of days yet. Just got to keep an eye out over there just in case the Coast Guard's coming. Now, I'm sure the fishermen wouldn't have dobbed us in, but you know, they might have just said, hey, we saw a boat, and someone told someone else, and you know, the Chinese whispers grow, and then there's 50 boats here, apparently. So, we're gonna make, we've got plenty to eat. This will be like 3 or 4 meals, we'll make it up, and if someone comes to Savo, we'll just go. Just go like great Russian poet, Fuckinovsky. Nothing but quality, people. And this is the most important part, to bash the hell out of them. And of course, anything that resembles skin, just get rid of it. We had found 2 potatoes that had fallen behind a shelf. What a find! When we have a home, do you want to have a kitchen like this? Don't you like the caveman kitchen?
It burns everything.
And we've got chips! It's plain rice for my breakfast because we run out of everything, and Margarita's making coconut rice. So this is our life now, people. The priority is getting food and cooking it on the island and making sure we have a few meals ready-made just in case we get kicked out. But it seems by sunset we have survived yet another day. Relationship advice 101. If Margarita likes collecting shells, then collecting shells is what we do. You got something good? Oh wow, that's pretty.
I'm gonna leave the heavy ones probably there while we're still close. You know, can I leave here the rest?
Yeah.
So I just don't want to miss this part.
I hope someone cheers up soon because I'm bursting to say what I ought not to say. It's killing me, people. Where are we going to put all these shells?
The bilge.
Happy bilge. So why did you sink? Well, all the shells smashed together as we were pounding, going at 38 to 42 degrees to windward, and they created a powder, and when we got a hole in the boat or started leaking, the bilge is going to not work and we'll fill up with water. But that's okay, so long as Margarita's happy. I see you got a bigger bucket than the frisbee.
I found it.
That's wonderful. Margarita says I gotta help gather the shells, which basically means I'm the donkey and I'm carrying the shells. I can do that. You might remember from, I don't know, 30 or 40 episodes ago, you probably don't, that I said I was good at 1 or 2 things and I could only remember one of the things. Don't ask me what that thing was, but now I remember the other thing, and that's being a donkey and carrying all this stuff. You should see my CV, people. Yeah, it's really, really large print.
Choosing the shells because Peter's getting upset.
Well, I'm not getting upset. I just obey the laws of physics. This relationship stuff takes a long time, and we're only half done. But as the sun got lower and lower, it seemed that we survived yet another day here. Although I don't think the bilge can take much more of this.
Stranded in paradise, it's not as fun as it seems. So we're still fighting. Trying to keep my distance, not say much. So, because it looks like everything I say is perceived as negative, and also the other way around. So it's just a snowball. So we just keep to work as a team when we need to, and then we just keep separate, and each one does their own jobs, like editing or going fishing or go and pick my shells or have do my sunbaking. These few days more boats have been showing up, so
I think all up in the island it might be like 30-40 men in the island, so I don't feel very comfortable being the only woman around. Yesterday while Peter was spearing and I was here by myself after about one of the fishermen that I have arrived, he stopped by to say hi. That was actually very nice of him. They seemed all nice, but then he said, "Do you have anything to give to me?" And I was like, "Oh." I politely said no and smiled, and he said, "Okay, I'll just drop the man by and I'll come back." And I was so, no. I was feeling, oh no, what I'm gonna do? I don't have anything to give him. I was so nervous thinking, oh no, he's gonna come, Peter's not here. It was such a relief when Peter arrived and I felt, oh, he's back. Oh, we just cannot keep going like this. Mentally I just won't be able to put up with it.
Margarida was still having a really tough time. That Band-Aid technique, people, I forgot. Band-Aids and salt water, it never works out. They always fall off. They never last at all. I should have known. Anyway, look, I'm absolutely sure that if we got admitted to Jamaica after getting kicked out of Dominican Republic and Haiti, Margarida would have been on the first flight home and probably never to return. Now, to go through so much, Margarida has really been a trooper. Now, to understand it from her point of view, she's a very, very clean person. And we just don't have water to clean up with. All our clothes are dirty. All the inside of the boat is dirty. Our bed sheets are all salty. Not that we go to bed salty, it's just that after a period of time, they just get salty. We've only got about 3 litres per person each day. So when you have this and you get rejected by countries and you just have no sleep, well, it all adds up to having a really tough time for Margarida. Of course, I was like a pig in shit, and not just a little shit, but a lot of shit, and I was having a ball. But of course, that didn't help anything. I have to go spear the desert. We're on a new reef, a bit further away from the boat. I'm going to keep an eye on Margarida, she's back there. Let's make it quick. We need some fish for tomorrow, we might be leaving tomorrow. Looks like a beautiful spot. We've got a wreck there, so I might go suss that out. It's all churned up over there. It's got to be some fish, but I know what's going to happen. It's going to be nothing. It's going to be a real struggle. Well, I'm going to try and bring another barracuda close. Come on, barracuda, come and eat your own kind. I've seen ever here. It's unbelievably poor. But I was just lucky. Anyway, I'll get back. Margarita's all by herself and she's a long way away. These barracuda that I shot first, that was probably enough for us for 4 days, but Margarita's not a big fan of barracuda. Now with the barracuda, I'll scale it and then I'm going to rub it down really roughly with some coarse sand. Get all the smell off, the slime, and it'll be a much better tasting fish. Now I think this is related to a grunt. They're not great eating, but Margarita will prefer this rather than the barracuda. In Cuba, there's so many of these, they practically shoot themselves. There's absolutely no skill in it, as you saw in the footage. But beggars can't be choosers, and we need fish for the next 4 days. So
Remember when Peter said we didn't have space in the bilge and was gonna knock everything over, he's gonna crack everything? Not really, because I previously already had some shells there and was really well packed. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, look at this beauty. Really nice.
wait till we join the 360 club and capsize, then we're all gonna die.
Voila, all packed.
There was just so many fishermen constantly coming and going, and we were saying hello and we're trying to be nice, but it's hard to be social when you can't really be social because of the circumstance. I mean, I don't even know what they were fishing for. In the end, I found out they're shooting absolutely everything from tiny little parrotfish, damselfish, blue tangs. Everyone's familiar with Dory from that movie. Black Durgans. Soon there's going to be nothing left, but the fishermen still kept coming, and it certainly made Margarita feel not the best.
Anxious, because when you have lots of men coming constantly every day, and when you have boats coming at night, you feel the movement on the boat, that someone just passed by or a light. So it's was not the most pleasant time for me, at least. It's not like they were doing anything wrong, but I just didn't feel okay.
No, true. So so with this constant flow of fishermen back to the mainland, look, it was only a matter of time before the Coast Guard was going to make an appearance and kick us out. So we decided we had to go. So join us next episode to see where we go. There isn't a lot of choice.